Hello, everybody. This is Phyllis Y. Whitley. If you have been spiritually victimized and traumatized, welcome to Spiritology Live, where I bring my #1 Amazon bestseller book to life. Each episode will be a raw, spiritual, metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness for self-healing as you learn how to break your religious shackles so you can master and manifest your promised land within today. Yes, today. Let's go. Hello, everyone. I tell you, this was a challenging week because so much stuff was happening. I had so many ideas. And you know, I guess that's what you go through when you have a podcast every week. And I could imagine you having it every day, because when things come up in situation or just world events, you have something to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I will recap that we talked about narcissists and last week, and that was heavy. That was very heavy. And I'm pretty sure it touched home for so many people. So you can always leave a comment on how you release your narcissist. And that could be a narcissist emotions. It can be your attitude. Or if it's someone else, let me know. Because I will probably do a part 2, but not this week. This week, oh my goodness. Or should I say last week, so much happened. This podcast right now is being recorded on the 1st of April. So I usually come in to let you know how to release your shackles and live in the promised land. And I also told y'all the week before how that religious shackle or religious seed, and it don't have to be a religious seed, it's just that seed that comes to stop you from living in your promised land. And where can you find the seed? I named many things. One of the things I named was Hollywood, entertainment industry. Well, I asked y'all all to go back and listen to my other podcast, because every single one of those was a revelation for a divine time and a divine connection for you to understand how to release your shackles. Let's go into what happened last week. In the entertainment field, or arena, I believe it was the Oscar. I did not watch it. I used to love watching stuff like that, and I stopped because it's so much seed behind it. I got tired of seeing the power of those seeds in Hollywood controlling everything around them. So with that being said, what happened? Jada Pickett Smith and Will Smith, as they would call it. If you know anything about them, he comes from Philly. They had a show, Bel Air, was great. He went out there and he literally just started acting on a film, and most of his stuff have been great. I am not a great fan of his release lately, but I will definitely go see this last movie that he have about the Williams sisters, because they are powerful. With that being said, they are always the ridicule of the tabloids or the comedians like Chris Rock, because, you know, their family is, I'm going to say, like the Adam family is different. And that's not to insult them, but just say that they have a different family, a different way that they brought their kids, a different way that their kids was manifested. That's keeping a lot of people looking sideways. Now, I am not here to tell her how to raise their kids, but I will say everything, if you have been listening to my podcast, manifests after its own kind. So what happened is, supposedly Chris Rock said a joke about his wife, and it turns out that she had alopecia, and Chris Rock didn't know that, but he's a comedian. And I always have known, because I love to go to comedy shows, and I'm not going to sit in the front. I don't care how bad I think I look. I'm not going to sit nowhere where that comedian can see me. But at the same time, this is Hollywood, and he have been accused of constantly picking on Will Smith. Okay? They have some proof out there. During this session, he literally said something about his wife, and because she has a hair problem. Yeah, she have a hair problem. And some of y'all think, oh my goodness, how could she have a hair problem and she got all this money? I thought so too, because I know I had a hair problem after I went through whatever I went through years ago and got it somewhat corrected. So, you just imagine with all that money, it should be like a done deal. Whatever. So he took it, and Chris Rock, and made a joke of it. Now, what I'm going to talk about is we're going to go back to the sea. We're going to stay on my podcast. And one of the things I heard, they said Denzel Washington said that when he quoted that, when you are at your highest moment, be careful because that's when the devil come in. Now, I'm here to say, I have heard this from Christians from the day I walked into the church and the day I walked out the church. And I have nothing against churchgoers, but if you are part of the church, that's all you have heard. Now, as time have went by and I really connected spiritually, and I went into that Bible and learned it myself, and I followed a lot of the success of people who knew the spiritual world and was not running around trying to be another Sadducee or another religious sector that literally went after Christ. I wanted to know, why would these people do this back in the New Testament? But as I learned and got revelation from God within myself, I found out a lot of the truth. A lot of the truth is in the book. The reason why I wrote this book called Spiritology. So one of the things I have, and it is in my book, Chapter 7, is called Not Today, Satan. What that is telling you is Christians, most Christians that I have known, you might not have known this. I feel like they have given the devil so much credit. They meditate on his name day and night. They meditate on this so much that they have no idea what's going on in the spiritual universe. They are manifesting the things of the devil. And I'm going to tell you from my take what that really means. Okay? In my book, I have it that I call the devils many things, but one of the 3 things I call them is the 3 Ds, and that's doubt, division, and debt. We are going to go ahead and talk about each one of those. And then we're going to bring it back to what Denzel said. Well, first of all, doubt. Doubt is when you second guess God. Well, you might ask, how do I second guess God? We can go back to the manufacturer book. James 1, 6-8. I'm not going to read all of that, but I'll read the end. It says, for let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded, unstable in all his ways. To sum that up, you shouldn't say, should I go left? Should I go right? God wants you to know that you know that you know, and he don't want you to doubt that he is who he is. And most of the world is like, are you a God? Is that a God? Is that over there a God? They are totally confused. Or really, you know what they do? They pray and then they get up and they be like, oh, I don't think he heard me. It's just doubt. And God wants you to believe in him. It is doubt. Oh, I don't know if I believe in God. I can't think of how many times somebody said to me, I know there's not a God. And I looked at them and I said, if a hurricane would come right now, this person would be running because they wouldn't know what to do. So with that being said, doubt. Could it be that Will Smith has some doubt going on in his heart? They said that he was laughing at the joke, but then he turned around and looked and see how unpleasant it was to his wife. I guess her face was saying, So the doubt was there. The doubt was, even though I said God, it really was, he might have been doubting himself as a man. How can I make this better? What can I do to go forth and show that I am protecting my wife? So he doubted his manhood. And what I mean by that is being the head of the household. We don't know what was going on in his life, what is going on in his head to cause him to have this doubt that I have to conversate or I have to prove you wrong for what you said about something that actually it was a joke. The second one is division. Division is when you thinking God is separated from you and he's not within you. That's what my whole concept is. And how do you do this? It's those people who I said earlier say, oh, there go my rock. Oh, let me go ahead and build this statue. Let me build this clay. Let me paint this picture and put it up, and then y'all start worshiping it. And you know what? We will, because we are prone to worship. Then we sit back in. What do that got to do with anything else? You know, I got to have the scripture. Well, basically, that particular one is doubting what is really inside you. And that way, being disciplined within your own spirit. You can go ahead and read Romans 8:35. This is the New King James Version. I'm going to go to the next one. It's called debt. Well, what did I got to do with eggs and onions and eggs and bacon? Everything. My philosophy is, will you continue to be a slave serving money? These three have a whole title in itself, but what I'm trying to say is money is supposed to serve you. Matthew 6:24, for those of you who say, is that in the Bible? And he says no one should serve two masters, for either he will hate the other or love the other, or else he will be loyal to one despite the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And people get it all mixed up and, oh, you're not supposed to have money. You're not supposed to have, oh, money is evil, whatever. And you know what? That's what a lot of people probably saying too about Will Smith or Chris Rock. You see what happened when you got a lot of money, you do that? No, it has nothing to do with it. Do you know what happens when you walking around and you in debt? Debt manifests poverty. You can have a debt consciousness where you don't have to really be poor, but you have a lack within your own self, your own mind. Jada, I'm pretty sure it was an insecurity there that was shown to her husband. We all say he could have did this, he could have did this and this. You might ask, well, he has money, so where's their debt? Debt is the lack, can also be lack of consciousness, the lack of feeling like I'm not in control. He took my power away, so I'm going to go forth and I'm going to embarrass the heck out of him. All of that comes together with putting somebody or giving somebody your power. When you know who's in you, then you know how to discipline your spirit. Are we all disciplined or no? It's every second, every minute, every day thing that we have to do. With that being said, another word that we say the enemy. First of all, have you or anybody, please let me know, seen the red so-called devil with horns? No, but yet Christians constantly talk about it. What is Denzel? Denzel, I love him to death. I love his acting. And this is no means throwing him under the table, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot he was trying to say. But I'm going to take what he was saying and I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some clarification that this is something that he was saying. Because if you think about it, Denzel been climbing up the ladder for how long? And I'm pretty sure the devil was always there. I'm pretty sure as soon as he made his first film and his name went out, I'm pretty sure the devil went through how many people? How do you ask it goes through all these people? Well, one of the things, the religious shackle is a bondage spirit that disguises itself as what we call the devil. And I'm going to say the 3 Ds, through thoughts, words, and emotions, to keep you living in doubt, division, and debt. Do you understand? Will Smith have been through something, especially since his wife put a lot of her laundry on this round table. That's what she's doing. She feels that that's what she needs to do. I have nothing to do with that. But at the same time, it is quite known that their life is like kind of open. And it has always been said, it's like a marriage that is open. It's almost like it appears that his children is really just doing whatever. And you can see the manifestations, and a lot of people agree and a lot of people don't agree. So I will say, with all of that stuff and chaos that's going deep down inside in that family, all this openness, it is a open field to reap what you sow. It's an open field for all of these spiritual darkness to come into your life, to come into your family life and cause havoc. I think that what we have is we have a couple who did it their way anyway, no boundaries, kids, no boundaries. And you see, which is sad, they are setting an example for the next generation. You see these two couples who were supposed to be powerhouse. And then the other day you seen something on the Oscars that said, oh, was it really the joke that Chris Rock actually said? Or was it the enemy, which is really in you, in me? So it's no red horn. It's no devil green or red or black. It's whatever you make it. If you tell everybody, if you go to everybody and say, please draw me a picture of the devil, they be drawing all kind of stuff from what they know from the scary movies. But have you drawn your face? Have you made a sketch of you? No one. I did not see the devil take him up, Will Smith, up to the stage and say, here, smack him. Nobody did. That doesn't mean that Denzel wasn't trying to tell you something about life. I agree with him. But a lot of us, especially churchgoers, Christianity, we just take this thing with the devil. And you know why I say it? Because I remember changing some channels and looking at some stuff on YouTube. And I just kept hearing, now you know the devil don't want you to do this. And the devil is keeping you this. But you know what? I'm here to tell you the truth. First of all, the Christianity been saying that from day one. So you are left to walk out there and feel you are fighting. Oh, I'm fighting against the devil. I can't see him, but I'm fighting against the devil. Yes, there's an unseen world out there of darkness. But you have to understand that somebody else's messy world is not your world. You don't have to live a world in chaos. You don't have to live a world of allowing the enemy was in you to be manifested. What happened to Will Smith? He manifested what was really going on probably from the round table when he found out or was revealed that his wife had someone else. That's only what she told. No one can say anything about her because how many men you had behind your husband or while you were still married? No one can say anything. I'm not going to sit up there and put my dirt out there. But the point I'm saying is you are out there and you chose this position. You chose this platform. And she said what she had to say in front of, with her husband. And then her husband have to go see his kids, see how they brought up. But then I believe that when he went and turned around and did this movie, he learned something. And I believe he learned how disciplined this man was for his children. And he have to sit back and look at those kids and say, look at these kids that this man brought up. This man had a plan and a goal, and he literally put it into his kids. Now, I can't say anything because I want to give the movie away or nothing like that because I have to still go see it. What I'm going to say is from what I've known of it. I know even the Williams family, they had a lot of friction, but them girls stayed focused and they are looked up to. Is it a possibility that Will Smith knows that nobody's looking up to him anymore? Nobody's looking up to your kids. When you are a family in the spotlight, even if it's as a politician, you don't want, just like a president, for example, he don't want his kids to be out there doing the things that some of the president kids done because it is embarrassment. It goes straight to the head of the household. So what Jada Pinkett and Will Smith's kids are doing out there or have done out there or representing, they might be helping a community of people and their voice is out there for them. But at the same time, if the father and the mother might be having some doubt inside of them of, did we do a good job? Because I'm doing this film and I see these two females are being idled enough that people are respecting them. Do my children have respect like this? I don't know. That's something that Will Smith and his wife need to get together because the kids are already grown. But I was always there and I knew a little bit of this, a little bit of that, only because I was watching them and I admired him. Do I admire them today? They are not my powerhouse couple because I feel like you're going to manifest as the head of the household. You're going to manifest a lot of stuff. When you're doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors that has nothing to do with a spiritual higher power called God, I'm not talking about religion. You literally, they may have it, but you have to show some kind of boundaries and some kind of laws and that have to go out there, because you can't just have kids and say do anything and everything. And let me tell you a secret. When your kids come rampant, you see kids just being rampant, especially when I used to talk about the pastor kids, is because some stuff is going on in that house that's rampant. Some stuff is going on in that house that cannot be whispered. And it's going to be manifest through the kids because it can't hide. You can't hide it. Am I the greatest parent? No. But at the same time, I feel when you step up and you make that oath to be a pastor, a priest, evangelist, when you really stand up and you get in the public eye, you know that your whole family's on stage. So you have to be very, very careful. That's why a lot of people in Hollywood, they get up and they move, but they just go to Hollywood to do their films or whatever, because they don't want those kids to get in the mix of that. Even in the industry, artists, the singers, look at the crowd they've been around. You can look at what they manifest and say, I know who you've been hanging with. So with that being said, I just wanted y'all to understand something. Understand that Will Smith did something. You can say, he can look in the camera and say, the devil made me do it. Because something inside of him was pulling and tugging and it had to come out. I do believe that when he went up there and showed his emotions and slapped this man, Chris Rock, it wasn't what he said, it's what was going on in their family and what has been going on in their family. So all I can say at the end, James 4:7 says, therefore submit to God and resist the devil, and he will flee from you. He's not a red horn man or woman. It's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual word, a spiritual thought. It's a spiritualness that comes in the form and manifests as doubt, division, and debt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming into my space. And now go get your promised land, because I need you to share it on all social media platforms, because I don't know who you know. So please leave a manifested review or a testimony so others can reap the harvest too. Please don't miss your opportunity to order my book. I see some of y'all are ordering the book because you want the full course, the dinner. And I'm only coming in here to give you like a appetizer, sometime dessert. What's new? We're going to continue to say what's new is Jalen's book. Number 1 new release is a children teen book about an autistic boy giving advice to the unique who has been bullied. Remember something, if loving yourself is wrong, you don't want to be. And let's go and start that again. Remember, if loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong. I'm out.